I think of everything you covered and what I'm seeing, the tough balance for parents, for coaches, for teachers is how do I challenge kids and support them and challenge them to be their best and support them. And it's a leadership skill that I've seen you develop and continue to get stronger and stronger with. I'm going to share a little research. You know, I'm a little research geek, and this is the research on positive leadership, and it basically shows that negative emotions, they hit deeper, people glom onto them more. We have a negativity bias. Those words just hit harder when they're negative versus positive. And you've experienced this. We've talked about that. One study examining management teams found that the most important factor in performance was the number of positive statements to negative statements. And those who routinely made positive statements, appreciation, support, helpfulness, compliments, significantly outperformed those who had the negative comments, dissatisfaction, cynicism, criticism, or who used more neutral language. They came up with numbers. The highest performing teams had a ratio of over 5 positive statements for every negative statement. It was a 5.6. The average teams had a ratio of 1.85 to 1, so about 2 positive phrases for each negative one. And the lowest performing teams had a ratio of 0.36 to 1, so for every positive statement, there were 3 negative statements made. How have you found the role of positive statements, positive coaching, playing a role in the development of your players?
Yeah, you've just given me something. I'm going to make sure I'm going 6 to 1 for every positive to constructive criticism type comment when I'm coaching. But I found the same thing with coaching, and especially women. I think women really harbor those negative comments and really hang on to them a little bit longer. But when I was doing some graduate work, this was a part of one of the studies I did, was I taped myself during practice, how many times I was giving positive comments to how many times I was giving constructive criticism. And I can't remember the exact numbers, Molly, but there was more positive than negative. And then I asked the team afterwards and asked them what they felt, and they felt there was more negative to positive. So the players were hearing more negative things even when I was saying more positive things. And so I think that's just a good reminder to us coaches that we got to double what we're thinking. We really have to strive for that 6 to 1 balance in order for them to hear the good things.
And I'm so glad I invited the youths to stay tuned on this section, because that's consistent with all of the research on when you ask parents and then you ask kids, for example, how comfortable are you talking about this topic and that topic? And there's such a differential where parents say, oh, my kids are very comfortable with me talking about this and this, and the kids are maybe 20, 30, 40% lower about their actual comfort level, or how much they think that their parents actually talk to them about important issues. And so there is that differential, and something, if you've learned nothing else from coaching, I know you've learned this: perception is reality.
Yeah, perception is reality. And so if those kids are thinking that they're hearing those negative comments, they're going to walk out of practice, feeling down. And so really our coaching staff strives for positive comments, positive feedback. Now, of course, we have to have constructive criticism. That's coaching. That's helping them get them better. But at the same time, you can always find something positive to say to a kid.
And you can take this too far. I don't want parents to say, oh, well, I'm just going to be all positive and all good, and there goes accountability out the window. The follow-up study showed that there is kind of a boomerang effect, and the marker was 13 or more positive to 1 negative. When it went to 13 or higher, it created low accountability environments where people actually weren't confronting challenging situations, and it led to mediocrity. So we do need to find that balance.
Kids are smart. Kids are smart, and they can understand when you're feeding them a line. And I think that if you're not sincere, or if you said good job on doing something when they really didn't work hard at doing it, good job studying for that test, and they didn't study for the test, I think that's sending a really bad message to them, because now they're getting praise for something they didn't do. That's confusing, counterproductive. So we have to make sure that what we're telling them is very truthful, actually, and based on fact.